Welcome to the SNF Spotlight Series, brought to you by Renewal Rehab, a dynamic therapy company that provides full-service therapy for nursing homes. You'll be hearing from some of the leading nursing home professionals in the country, as well as many healthcare heroes that are sacrificing day in and day out to help your loved ones recover and come home to you.
Welcome to the SNF Spotlight Series. Find out what's really going on in nursing homes. I'm your host, Yitz Rubin, and I'd like to thank the Renewal Rehab family for sponsoring this program. Renewal Rehab provides therapy for SNFs nationwide. Contact Renewal to find out how they can help you create the best therapy program for your patients. Today, I have the privilege of speaking with Chief Operations Officer of Montgomery Place Senior Living in Hyde Park, Illinois. Community, culture, and nature, they all come together at Montgomery Place. More than 200 older adults currently enjoy the lakeside setting as well as vibrant urban lifestyle that engages the heart and enriches the mind. Paul, thank you so much for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about you and your role at Montgomery Place?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me today. I've been with the facility for about 4 years now. I actually started in the dining team as the director for dining services and worked my way up the ranks. Definitely find my heart and soul at Montgomery Place from the get-go. As soon as I interviewed there, I knew that I wanted to work there. One of the things that make me feel great about my job in operations and keeping the ball rolling throughout the facility is keeping all of our residents, clients, everybody there safe and happy, and definitely fed well, because that's my background and passion. So
you sound a little like a Jewish mother, making sure everyone's fed well.
It's funny that you say that. Only the good half. Half Italian, half Jewish, and we like feeding each other.
So you were initially in hospitality and restaurant business. What made you switch over and go into healthcare?
So I think it was just something that came about organically. I've always had a management background and always focused my career and wherever I was on cost control, keeping staff happy, everything on the operations side of the business. I own my own restaurant, so I understand what it means to own something for yourself. And I actually apply that to even my position now. Take full ownership. I may not actually own anything in Montgomery Place, but I treat it as if I do. I think it enables me to actually be more successful there, because the things that I'm buying, I'm making sure that it's something that we need. I'm not, some people just spend for no good reason, or reasons that they think are good, but at the end of the day, they're not. So applying all of what I've learned at owning my own place, and then that inner being of making people happy and caring for them, I think that's what really led me to where I am now. Day in and day out, my job is to make sure that my employees keep our residents happy and safe.
So you would probably do that by making sure that they're happy, and then it trickles down from there. Am I correct?
100%. I can't. So what's really interesting, and I talk to my managers about this every single day, I can almost train you to do anything. The only thing I can't train you to do is be nice to others. So when I'm hiring somebody, I'm actually looking more at, are they smiling? What's their body language? Are they engaged? Do they care about what I'm saying? Because I know that I care about what they're saying, because I'm potentially going to hire them. If they're not engaging and they're not caring in that first even 10 minutes, I almost know immediately that that person is not going to work out, because they have to have that heart. You have to care.
So you initially owning your own business, that's a big shift to now work for somebody else. From what I understand, Debra Hart is the leader there. There must be something very special about her that you're able to transfer from being an employer to being an employee. What can you tell us a little bit about Debra and her leadership skills?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny because that was actually one of her main questions when she interviewed me for the first time. And her question was something like, do you think that you will have a hard time taking direction from someone else when you were the guy before? And I said, I think almost verbatim, it will actually be a breath of fresh air to be able to have someone tell me what to do. I find Debra to be a leader who cares about the opinions around her, takes those opinions, of course, sometimes with a grain of salt because, you know, everybody's got an opinion, but she definitely trusts her team and she definitely trusts her leaders. And I think that's what's been able to really get us through what has been a super challenging year. If you asked me this same time of the year last year, would we be dealing with a pandemic and lockdowns and isolations and all of these other things, my answer would have been, what are you, crazy? But here we are. And Debra and I work really hard, day in and day out, to keep all of our residents safe, keep the building COVID free. It has been quite a challenge.
So I understand with the pandemic, there's a new vaccine coming out. How are you guys handling that at Montgomery Place? What do you plan on doing with the residents? Is there like a plan in place for that moving forward?
Yeah, so we have partnered up with CVS. That's our main pharmacy that we use. They're on that side called actually Omnicare, which is their, I guess, more for their nursing homes. It's not their actual storefront. We got a call from CVS that they are planning on getting the vaccinations very soon. So the way that looks is the government has set it up where CVS will actually come in and they will actually do all of the administration of the vaccination. So they'll come in and then 3 weeks later, they'll come back for the second round. They are also going to do all of the paperwork behind it and the tracking behind it. So they will keep the updated lists of who was actually vaccinated and be able to share with us what our percentages are. As we all know that herd immunity really doesn't occur until you get a little bit over 80%. The vaccination is safe. It's something that we need to do if we want to move past this pandemic. And we actually do this with our employees, even on a daily basis, just surrounded by, these are the things that you can do to keep your family and you safe from getting COVID. I think it's got to be the same similar type of message with the vaccine. This is something that's going to keep you and your family safe. And hopefully people will take it seriously.
So you had mentioned two things in there that I had a question about. You had mentioned that you guys are going to have that first run through CVS, which I forgot the name of the company, the spin-off company. Omnicare. So they are going to come in, you said 3 weeks?
So we're looking at probably within the next week or two, they finally, or not even finally, but they officially approved the Pfizer vaccination yesterday. So the way that that's going to look is now that final approval is done, once CVS actually receives the vaccinations, they'll set up an appointment with us to come out and start vaccinating all of our frontline workers as well as all of our seniors in the building.
Right now it's December 11th, 2020. You're saying that you guys could potentially, in a week, have an appointment set, which could be in 2 weeks. You guys could already have that vaccine with your elderly and your frontline workers.
That is correct.
Wow, that is amazing news. I'm very excited about that. You know, I hear it in the news, different things, but to actually hear it practically, you know, I would love to have that follow up and find out exactly how that went and how the patients are feeling and things like that.
Absolutely.
So through this, I mean, you've been there since the beginning. How are the patients, now that it may be coming to an end, hopefully with this vaccine, do you see there's a difference in the staff and in the patients as far as hope?
So I think that everybody in our facility still really is dealing with COVID directly every single day. One thing that me and my team try to share with our employees on almost a regular basis, send them little messages every single day or every other day to make them feel a little bit more comfortable coming to work, giving them that support that they need. And part of that is giving them direct support at all times, knowing that, you know, my door is always open if they have questions and concerns.
So I saw the Time magazine recently had a feature about the person of the year, and they featured these healthcare heroes, and many of them had scars around their eyes and their mouth, because they were wearing these masks for so long, and like it was blood and like real, they went through a lot of pain to keep their patients safe. Do you have any, like I'm sure you have staff that have been going above and beyond. Would you say that there's anyone in particular that you can say, like, this person is an extremely special person that they really sacrificed to help their patients during this time?
I'll rewind back to our first wave of COVID. At that time, everything was definitely more of an unknown than it is now. I think even still there are those unknowns, but we know more now than we did, say, 8 months ago, 6 months ago, whatever. At that time, Debra and I took an oath, I guess, to make sure that our residents and our staff members are safe. And the only way that we felt was the right way to do that was to move into the building and be there 24 hours a day, anytime that any staff member needed assistance in any way, shape, or form. I'm not a clinician. I won't even pretend to be able to, sure, I could take your temperature, I could take your pulse ox, but beyond that, it's not in my skill set. But with that said, there were a lot of team members that stood up and said, you know what, we're there with you as well. We want to move in also, we want to help. And I don't know that I can pick that one individual, but what I will say is collectively, the leadership team, the clinical team, especially at Montgomery Place, has done a spectacular job. We have a director of nursing, Shalita Sprouse, who stayed at the building just like us, worked, 30 hours a day, and just was there.
I mean, I'm a little humbled speaking to you now, like, I'm just imagining that picture of the whole team coming together, starting with the leadership team, you, Debra, and then trickling down to everybody and just like making these patients your family. So I feel a little humbled about this, and
Thank you.
And I would like to thank you and all the people. I to see heroes in real life is an honor. Thank you for all the service you've done, and anyone watching this, I would say Montgomery Place is definitely a place to look at, for your loved one that that they'll be taken care of. Thank you all for watching. Feel free to like, share, and thanks for watching another episode of the SNF Spotlight Series.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to the SNF Spotlight Series. Please subscribe to our channel, as there will be many new and exciting episodes from our healthcare heroes.